My father told me that because of you, multiple people are starting to learn more about our Indian history.
We have Paridhi.
When I was 9 years old, it was a completely different life, and you guys have a completely different life. What kind of conversations do you have with your friends right now?
My friends and I only discuss one thing. How do I complete my incomplete work in school? One of the worst things about Duryodhan is that he's just downright greedy. That mere childish behavior killed 4.7 lakh people.
What's the difference between karma and dharma?
Karma is action. It is tit for tat. While dharma is righteousness. It's justice. One of the worst things that happened to India was burning down of Nalanda University. The massive library, which had 9 million plus manuscripts, was set on fire. And the fire kept on burning for months. The Mudaliar twins. Mudaliar twins are the reason why we have Lakshadweep with us today. The Pakistani ship was going there.
Come on, go, go!
If it hadn't been for Sardar and Vallabhbhai Patel and for those twins, then Lakshadweep would have been Pakistani territory right now. Because be it whatever religion, every religion just teaches you one thing: be a good human being.
For somebody like me, I have known bits and pieces of Mahabharata, but I don't know the entire essence of it. If you had to narrate, I'm sure there's so many people who'll be watching this may not understand Mahabharata to the fullest extreme. So if you had to narrate Mahabharata as a story for us, how would you narrate that?
Firstly, I would say कि Mahabharata, I can't narrate it over here. If I would, then this podcast wouldn't end until this night or something. But a few things I would say to get good, authentic and original Mahabharatas are get Ami Ganatra ji's Mahabharata. That is amazing because it tells the story also and it breaks the myths also.
Yeah.
Like for example, Draupadi never said Andhe ka putra andha. Draupadi, for another thing is that in the serials we watch, the serials dekh ke we get interest in Mahabharata like I did. So a few things that are just masala added in and are not true at all, completely false, are Draupadi never said Andhe ka putra andha. वस्त्र हरण के बाद द्रौपदी ने बाल बांधा था. It was not left open. And thirdly, Abhimanyu never learned to enter the Chakravyuh inside the womb. Fourthly, Karna is not a hero or a victim. So these 4 myths are so common now that you get confused.
Okay.
And another book I can tell you is ki ISKCON ka Mahabharata. That is already an authentic presentation. Other than that, don't ever trust serials. Then a few more myths I can tell you.
Yes.
Shakuni was never limping. Shakuni's father was thrown in prison. His father's sons and brother were thrown into prison is completely false. And Ami Ganatra made this a very funny thing कि अगर वो प्रिजन जेल में मरे थे तो फिर क्या भूत बन के लड़े थे क्या महाभारत में? So that is one more thing. And so yeah.
Okay, so now I do understand the entire story of Mahabharata is a longer version of it. But if you talk about what happened in Kurukshetra and the most important, not the milestones, but the most important moments that happened during the war that would give a lot of people reference of how to lead life right now, what all instances would you talk about?
Firstly, okay, I'll go to post-war entirely. So, post the war, Bhishma is not dead. He's just, he's hanging in limbo, let's just say. And so, Bhishma Pitama gives advice to Yudhishthira before passing away. That is one of the most important parts. Then I think we can all agree that Bhagavad Gita is very important too. Then another thing we can learn is कि entire war में, another pointer made by Ami Ganatra, that people say कि Krishna wasn't fair in the war. She said that Krishna wasn't unfair. अगर दूसरे साइड he was just, his point was कि if you are not following the rules, then why should we? You expect us to follow the rules while demolishing them yourself. So that is one more amazing pointer made by Amiji. And then the killing of Abhimanyu tells us that जितने भी rules हो महाभारत war में, Kauravas will find one way or another to break them. And then the most shocking part is, after Abhimanyu was killed, one of Arjun's disciples, I think, Satyaki, killed Bhurishrav, a Kaurava warrior, when he was unarmed. And so Duryodhan tells Krishna, look, you say I'm God, but you're being so unfair. And the worst part is, just few days ago, you killed Abhimanyu 6-1, and you're saying that it's unfair if Bhurishrava was killed unarmed. So yeah.
So this is post-war. So during the war, from the conversation between Arjun and Krishna, what do you think are the most important lessons that can still be used in our life right now?
First pointer before I answer is that there is no part in the Mahabharata that is important or unimportant. Every word, every syllable in the Bhagavad Gita is important to learn. But since I am a student, I have a shloka for all the students out there. And that is Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. Meaning that approach a wise teacher with humility and a desire to serve, and they will teach you true knowledge. I will explain this. Firstly, approach a teacher with humility and a desire to serve. By desire to serve, I don't mean you have to desire to go to their home and do jhadu pocha for them. By that, I mean to help them, to listen to them, and if they're repeating something, you shouldn't be like, hey, yaar, we heard this before, get to the main point. No, you have to listen to it no matter how many times they have repeated it. And then humility is, don't be arrogant. Like, I already know this, get to the main point. No, I already know this, you should teach this. No. You have to be humble, and you have to learn every single word, every single syllable, every single sound that they make. Then they will teach you true knowledge. No teacher wants to teach you false knowledge, for the first thing. Secondly, by that I mean they will have the intention to teach you. Ki if you're arrogant and you're not ready to learn, then उनको दिल में ये नहीं लगेगा कि अरे they're here to learn or I want to teach them. They will not have that feeling from their heart. And the best thing to create a good relationship between teacher and student is to listen and to be ready to learn and to have that intention for learning.
And in Mahabharata, what are your favorite characters?
One is obviously Krishna. Another is Dhananjaya, which is another name for Arjun.
Okay.
And another is actually one thing. I don't think Lord Narayan's 8th avatar is pronounced as Krishna. I think it's pronounced as Krishna.
Krishna. Okay.
Because another name for Draupadi is Krishna. That's why.
Okay.
So there are three to four mentioned Krishnas in the story. Krishna, Sri Krishna, Dhananjaya, Krishna, Draupadi, Krishna, and Rishi Krishna, Dvaipayan, the Vyasa.
Okay. Why are these two characters your favorite characters?
So basically, Draupadi, like many people say, कि Draupadi was a violent woman. She was the cause of all the deaths of the Mahabharata. No, that's not true. Draupadi was actually a wise philosophical woman. Like I mentioned earlier, she never said Andhe ka putra andha. There is no written record in the Mahabharata whatsoever that Draupadi ever said Andhe ka putra andha. Yes, Bhima laughed at Duryodhan, but Draupadi never did anything. So yeah.
Okay. So are there any misunderstood characters?
Yes.
Like?
One of them is Draupadi herself. Another is Karna.
Okay. What about Karna is misunderstood?
See, okay, before I answer that, I'll ask you a question.
I'm
What
very
is-
poor in this, so yes.
What is the description you have learnt about Karna? Like, what do you think of him? Was he heroic? Was he cowardly? What?
I feel the description given about him was he's a very kind person, very giving person.
Yes, he was a very generous person. But the Karna, हम लोग क्या even I recently found out and I was very shocked, but still, Karna, how we read him, is he was a great man, misunderstood. No. He actually was a very boastful and wild person. He constantly said Arjun is not even 1/16th part of me. He constantly told the Duryodhan that look at Bhishma and Drona, you pamper them, they are just giving you wicked advice in return. Whenever Bhishma and Dronacharya asked Duryodhan to return Indraprastha, and Karna is the one who always used to incite Duryodhana to do everything. He was the one जो आग लगाता है. He literally. And my question to Karna would be today, if you are so strong, where were you during the Gandharva war? Why did you run away? Yeah.
Okay. So you also spoke about the Yugas a little while ago, right? So what has Krishna majorly spoken about the Kali Yuga?
Kali Yuga, he said, कि Kali Yuga, I'll explain this with the birth of Dharma.
Okay.
So Dharma was born as a buffalo. And Dharma had 4 legs. Back in Satya Yuga, not now. And the Brahma told Dharma, कि Dharma, in Satya Yuga, you will have 4 legs. Then in Treta Yuga, you will have 3 legs. Because they will cut off one of the practices. In Dwapar Yuga, you will have 2 legs. They will cut off another practice. And in Kali Yuga, you will have only 1 leg. And basically, other than that, what all is mentioned about Kali Yuga is कि Kali Yuga will be the most disturbed yuga out of the all. Because Kali Yuga में क्या होता है कि this is mentioned in the Ramayana that only Brahmins can do puja and chant the Vedas and all in Satyug. Then Kshatriyas can do it in Treta Yuga, Vaishyas in Dwapar Yuga, and Shudras can do it in the Kali Yuga. And other than that, Kali is a demon. Okay, one of the most biggest misunderstandings about this present yuga is the demon of this yuga. पहली बात तो it's not Mahakali, it's Kali. I was watching videos on my TV when I came across this one video that was googling up. I would not recommend that to anybody, but that they were googling up who is the demon for Kali Yuga. So I got interested, so I just put aside the remote and I started to watch. And so they firstly googled up the thing, searched, and then the highlighted word came Kali. Like, huh. Then they give a series of images. And you know what was in that image? Mahakali.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's not at all correct. Because Mahakali is a Devi. She's a protector. Kali on the other hand will just disrupt you.
But why do we have to go through so many yugas? Is there any meaning to it? No.
No idea.
It's just the way it is.
It's I've read it that way.
Okay. Got it. So, again, now from the teachings that happened during the war, are there any life lessons that are applicable for us even now? Because now a lot of people are going through depression. A lot of people are going through suffering. Has Krishna ever spoken about how to get rid of the suffering?
See, there's one mantra. I don't know if it will work for everybody else, but it worked for me. Whenever I get scared, I recently discovered this too. It's Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvadomukham Narasimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityor Mrityum Namamyaham. And this is basically a mantra to remove all fear and anxiety. And one way to not be fearful of the God is to recognize him as your protector. Because even when Narasimha Deva came, and even when he killed Hiranyakashipu was scared out of his wits. But Prahlad, he said, "Oh Lord, I am not scared of you. Oh Lord, I am not scared of you because I know you are my protector. And you will protect me." Then, as of depression, it is once more, don't be attached. There is a difference between love and attachment. When you love, you know कि हाँ ये temporary है. But when you're attached, you're not ready to let go of that thing at all.
Do you think a lot of people are attached these days?
I'm not sure, but
Looks like it.
yes.
Okay. And there is this one very beautiful saying of Krishna where he says, do your work, don't expect for the fruits. I mean, when you do your work with 100% authenticity and put in all your efforts, everything is going to get taken care of. So, in what essence did he actually mean that?
He meant कि most people today, the first thoughts that come to their mind when they get some work to do is, what will be the fruits? What will I get? Let's do this with an example. You know, I shouldn't turn this mug full of water upside down. Because you know कि उसमें से पानी गिरेगा. But when you're unsure about something, you start to think कि what would be my fruit? What will I get? And then धीरे धीरे करके it becomes, I should also get something. Maybe I should do something to get myself something. And धीरे धीरे करके you have lost all sincerity to do that work. And some people, and this is happening very commonly nowadays, their first thought in their brain is that ki, what will I get in return? Okay, I'll do it, but what will I get in return? They'll never ask, okay, how do I do this? Where do I get the things to do this? No, their first question will be, what do I get in return? So yeah.
Why is it wrong, or what does it do to people, especially when they think about the outcome rather than thinking about the process?
Because then you lose all sincerity to do that work. And then this is what I had experienced. Then you start to procrastinate. And you start to think, I probably should not do this because it's so boring for me. It's not so interesting. And you lose all patience for that. And later onwards you realize that was a very bad idea. So yeah.
And also Krishna talks about surrender, right? Surrender wholeheartedly and surrender 100%. So talk to us about surrendering. What is it you've learned?
See, I'll share another very famous story, and that is, we all know the Draupadi Vastraharan. At the time she was dragged out she begged the Pandavas, she begged the Kauravas even, she begged everyone in sight to come and help her. Nobody did. At last she raised her hands and she was like, Shyam, I need you. You're my only solace. At that time, Krishna gave him the robe. One by one, there was a pile of robes. Later onwards, Draupadi asked Krishna, and probably many people also have this question in their mind, ki, Lord, why didn't you come to save me when Dushasan came to take me out? So Krishna says ki, I didn't come to take him out. When he came to take you out, I didn't come to help you because you never surrendered to me. You never called on me. You never asked me for help. And he explained that my home isn't Vaikuntha. My home isn't Dwaraka or Ayodhya. My home is your heart. If you let my home be your heart, I will wholeheartedly help you. But if you kick me out of your heart, I'll not be ready to help you.
And do you think one of the reasons why people may not be able to feel God is because their hearts are closed?
Yes.
And what do you think contributes to somebody's heart getting closed?
I'll explain this with an example.
Yes.
That imagine in your home, एक ही chair है, nothing else. There's just one chair. And a guest comes. You offer them that chair.
Yeah.
Then another guest comes. Same chair. And then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. 5 people trying to sit on एक chair. एक ही chair में. So, then how will the first guest feel? They will get up and leave, obviously. So, this home is your body. And this chair is your heart. The first guest was Krishna. Krishna came and sat in your heart. But you allowed pride, anger, greed, lust to sit down. So Krishna felt uncomfortable and he left. And this is a beautiful example by Sri Gauranga Darshan Das ji. So yeah, that's what I think.
So for somebody who is now becoming aware that the chair has been occupied by a lot of other things like greed, jealousy and all of that, what do you think they should start doing to send these out and get Krishna back?
To get peace in your mind. Once you get peace, be it by any means, be it by chanting, dancing, yoga, coloring, whatever. If you get peace and you try to not think of what is in, the moment you see someone who is something better than you, your first thought would be, oh, I want that too. Try to kick that thought out of your brain as soon as you can. And bring the thought ki, oh, I should congratulate them instead. Ki, oh, or you should admire it instead. But don't let me be jealous. Whatever I do, don't let me be jealous, don't let me be angry. So yeah.
So, in kids' Bhagavad Gita, do you think they've kind of reduced the concepts in intensity so the children can understand?
Basically, what I read kids Bhagavad Gita, it was good for kids. Like for the kids to get the base concept ki kya hai Bhagavad Gita. But once that sinks in, I think they should be starting to read a little easy to read Bhagavad Gitas that are like my Bhagavad Gita, the one I have, is Sanskrit, same shloka written in English and then translated to English.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of book I easily got the concept because I was good at English and so I understood everything. But then if they want more depth knowledge, then after reading these kind of books, they should go for ISKCON Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, ISKCON Bhagavad Gita is very deep.
My question is ki agar this is not deep, then tell me why are the Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita in the same amount of pages? So that just makes me wonder ki this is so deep that I thought at first that Bhagavad Gita would be a bit easy for me to read since I read 2 Bhagavad Gitas. But actually I started with the first chapter, then I stopped. It was so deep for me because your question was ki are the kids books not intense? They are not the intense, but like the main base kya hai usme they can understand. And then jo ISKCON ka Bhagavad Gita hai, it gets so deep. If you don't know anything about Bhagavad Gita, you will be so confused. And even after reading the Bhagavad Gita, sometimes you're like, okay, I need to pause and I need to think on this for a minute. So that is what I think is the depth of Bhagavad Gita.
So every time when you said the ISKCON Bhagavad Gita was deep, can you give me a reference of what was the difference between the kids one and the ISKCON one that made you pause and go deeper into that?
So firstly, my kids Bhagavad Gita was basically not, it was a mixture of both Bhagavat and Bhagavad Gita. The difference is Bhagavat is what Sri Krishna ne kiya and Bhagavad Gita is jo Sri Krishna ne bola. So they mixed it all together. His life story also, Bhagavad Gita also. And then I started with the Bhagavad Gita thing. The one thing I think is thoda disappointing is that there was no Sanskrit shlokas in it.
In the kids one?
No, because if the shlokas start from the kids book itself, it gets way easier for them to read when they go ahead.
Okay.
Because it was already very easy for me with the English thing, and it became easier for, I think it would be easier if they had the Sanskrit shloka and they modified it to be little English, like the shloka and then English mein ya Hindi mein translated. As for the Bhagavad Gita of ISKCON, I don't know much because I barely have moved on after the first chapter. But as far as I know, there's a lot of difference. Secondly, it is also authentic.
Okay.
The ISKCON Bhagavad Gita. So I personally think the kids, if the kids are learning, they should go from kids Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavad Gita by Vedic Cosmos, which is very good. I read that one.
Okay. Vedic Cosmos.
And then ISKCON Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Last.
So you said there is a difference between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavat. what Krishna did and what Krishna said. Can you help us understand the difference between both?
So Bhagavat, like Bhagavat, in the book I've read, it's called Sham, an illustrated retelling of the Bhagavat by an amazing author, that is Devdutt Patnaik. And so in the book, Shri Vedavyasa Rishi had said ki Bhagavat is the story of Bhagavan. And then I said ki it's what Krishna did. So Bhagavat यानी उनका रास लीला हो गया, the defeat of Kaliya हो गया, Kurukshetra war हो गया, that all comes into Bhagavat. Bhagavad Gita is Karma Yoga, the 3 different gunas, the Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, all these come into Bhagavad Gita. And what I think is the major difference is that the Bhagavat is a bit more important than the Bhagavad Gita.
Why?
Because Bhagavad Gita is just Krishna telling all of his knowledge to Arjun. But I think other than the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavat is important because Krishna experienced everything in that. So we see everything human from a God's point of view.
Okay.
So I find that interesting.
Give me a few examples of what Krishna experienced, what humans experience, but had the God's perspective about it.
So firstly, I think we know Pradyumna, the son of Krishna. So it is said that at the time of his birth, Pradyumna was thrown by a demon into the sea. Now, obviously, this is not a very good news. And many other sad things happened to Krishna, like in the Kurukshetra, he lost many people too. Because actually, Krishna's army was fighting against the Pandavas. The Kauravas mein Narayani Sena tha. And he lost all of his siblings before he could see them. And all of that makes you wonder ki how can he smile through all of it? And that is what I like to say is God's perspective. कि भगवान ने ये देखा है, this has been happening for multiple yugas already, and God is smiling because he knows it's temporary.
And when you say it's temporary, I've also heard you say in the past that happiness and sadness, both of it is temporary. What kind of just makes me feel amazed is all grown-ups like us, we find it very difficult to understand that. We know it intellectually, but for us to understand that, it takes time. How did you, at the age of 9, just get the essence of happiness and sadness, both of it is temporary?
So I'll use a story. See, so once Narad Muni was talking about how Brahma's 5th head was severed by Mahadev to Narayan. And he said, oh my God, my father has 4 heads now. So Narayana said, Narad, it's all Maya. Everything is an illusion. And so Narad Muni asks, what is Maya? Narayan says, I will tell you, but first get me some water. So Narad Muni goes to the river. He sees a very beautiful woman by the river and he marries her. Soon they have kids, then they have grandkids. Now one day, a flood destroys everything. His home, his wife, his sons, everything. And Narada is heartbroken. And at that time, Narayana comes into view. Narayana says, Narada, where's my water? I asked for water. So then Narada realized, oh, so everything is an illusion. And everything is Maya. Everything is temporary in this world. And now I realize. And Narayana told him ki Be prepared, Narada. There is going to be much Maya in the world.
Why do you think there is so much Maya in the world, according to whatever you've read?
Actually, Maya, we can surpass Maya very easily. It's one of the easiest things we can do. Our only obstacle, which is one of the most psychologically deadly obstacles, is our mind.
Okay.
If our mind is not ready to accept it, then we will not be able to pass Maya. But if our mind is ready, and one more thing I have said is, control your mind, because a controlled mind is your best friend, and a wild loose mind is your worst enemy. So the biggest obstacle to surpassing Maya is our mind itself.
And what does Krishna talk about the mind?
The mind, basically there are 5 senses, 6 if the mind is included. And so he says all 6 of these should be in your control. You shouldn't be like to your mind yes sir. You should be like, I'm the boss, I control. It should be like you choose what is good for your mind and your senses, not the other way around.
And in the practical world, the present world that we are in, what do you think are the steps that people can do to control their mind?
So firstly is to control your senses. Automatically you will start controlling your mind. By senses, I don't just mean that you cannot touch this, you cannot touch that. I mean every single sense. Like if something you're looking at is harmful, then you have to stop looking at it, no matter what. Even if you are admiring it so much, you should not look at it. If you smell something harmful, like for example, perfume is harmful to some people. If you continue to smell that perfume, it will obviously harm you. If you eat something that's good but it's harmful, it will harm you. And if you touch something, basically we all have the feeling ki kash mein cloud ko touch kar leti. That's also harmful because your hand will be fully wet and weak. And automatically when you control these, ki I will not look at that, I will not smell that, I will not eat that, I will not touch that, your mind starts understanding ki this is good, this is bad. And this can be explained ki whatever there is something known as a desire, right? So whenever a human desires something, they want it. Unfulfilled desires cause anger, anger causes delusion, and delusion basically just rots the mind. And in that small cycle, a human is ruined. So the best way is to control our mind. And the best way to do that is just to be peaceful, meditate maybe chant. Meditation is different for multiple people, so yeah.
Okay, so when you said there is a desire, an unfulfilled desire starts to rot our mind. Why do you think we have desires? Has Krishna spoken about that?
So, I don't know the answer to it, but the best guess I have is, when we look at, this is not common for everybody, but when we look at something else, for example, my friend has this mug, and I see the mug and I'm like, oh wow, the mug is so pretty. Then I'm immediately like, I need a better mug right now. So that is one of the root causes for desire.
Okay, so when you talk about shlokas, right? Are there any favorite shlokas for you?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us what they are?
Yad yad acharati sreshthas tat tad eva taro jnanah sa yad pramanam kurute lokas tad anuvartate. Meaning, whatever a great person does, common people will follow. Whatever standards they set, the entire world follows. There are multiple powerful shlokas outside of the Bhagavad Gita also. Like for example, Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Meaning, treat your mother, father and teacher as God.
Okay. And also, generally, because my name is Gayatri, when people ask me, what is the meaning of your name? All that I know is meaning of my name is a mantra. What is the significance of Gayatri Mantra?
See, Gayatri Mantra is the most powerful mantra there is. Like to attain wisdom, Rishis back then used to sing this mantra on repeat mode every. And even when you hear the syllables, there's this feeling inside you ki I'm getting goosebumps karke. And that's not the thing just for Gayatri Mantra. For every mantra there is, you have that goosebumps coming when you're listening. And yeah, the significance of Gayatri Mantra is, Gayatri is another name for Ma Saraswati. Another name for Ma Saraswati is also Vagdevi, meaning the goddess of speech.
Do you think values like these are being taught in school?
I don't know.
In your school?
That also I'm unsure.
Okay. But do you think values like these should be taught in schools?
Yes.
And how do you think we can get started? Like, is it parents getting to know about this or teachers having a specific class where they teach values like this? What do you think will be the difference in children?
They would become better human beings. Because be it whatever religion, every religion just teaches you one thing: be a good human being. As was rightly said by my godfather. So, he says, he's an atheist by the way. So, he says ki the one thing I don't like about religion is that all religions teach the same thing: be a good human being, be peaceful, be shant. But what are we doing? We're doing the complete opposite. There are wars all over the world. So yeah.
And your generation is very different from my generation. So when I was 9 years old, I did not have the kind of exposure like you guys have. No televisions, no social media. How is this affecting you guys now?
So, like, so you mean that if we don't have social
No, I'm
media?
asking you, generally, like a 9-year-old. When I was 9 years old, it was a completely different life, and you guys have a completely different life. What are the thoughts that you have right now at the age of 9? Or what kind of conversations do you have with your friends right now?
My friends and I only discuss one thing: how do I complete my incomplete work in school? Because I'm absent so much that I have quite a lot of incomplete work. But the conversations I have with my friends is basically, what did you bring for tiffin? What should we celebrate our birthdays on? Like, very basic things. Like, one of my, the topic of my conversation with my friends, you'd expect it to be what the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita says. No, it's the complete opposite. I'll be asking them, oh, did you see that new song today released by Blackpink? And they're like, yeah, I did. So I'm like, yeah.
Do you have conversations about Bhagavad Gita with your friends?
Very rarely, but when I do, yes.
Yeah. Are they also curious to know all of these things that
Oh
you
no,
know?
they're not.
Not
If I
that?
start the conversation, then they'll get, acha, okay. And then they'll start asking.
Okay. So, is there any part where Krishna talks about how to go through betrayal? Let's say somebody has betrayed me and I have a lot of anger or resentment against that person. How do I overcome that?
So like I mentioned before this podcast, I have read the Bhagavad Gita multiple times, but still it is very difficult to remember. But you don't necessarily need to remember it to just know the teaching. It is key. पहली बात तो the Bhagavad Gita's main thing is to be a peaceful and good human being. And what would a peaceful and good human being do in this situation? They would just ignore or forgive that person. If they forgive and you do it again and again and again, then you have to act. Then you have to act, because पांडवास कितने बार कौरव को पूछे कि भाई दे दो दे दो दे दो. No, they didn't listen. Obviously, Kauravas had to suffer, but still, Kauravas ही भुगत रहे थे. But still, that mindset is that कि be peaceful until it crosses a line.
You think the Kurukshetra war could have been avoided?
Yes.
By
Just giving over the kingdom. Like, one of the worst things about Duryodhan is that he's just downright greedy. And he's not ready to accept it or to even try to कि I've been acting bad, I should do something about it. No, he's just like, no, I will not give the Pandavas their kingdom back. Why should I? They have a better kingdom than me. I want it. So obviously, that mere childish behavior killed 4.7 lakh
people.
And what's worse is that they dragged innocent animals into this.
So now, from the entire Bhagavad Gita that you've read, if you have to give me lessons, these are the lessons that you can practice in your day-to-day life, and if you can associate that with few stories that it can impact people, what would they be?
Okay, so firstly I'll start with to be detached. I can't practice this myself as I'm still a child, but still, to be detached, it would be कि we'll take the example of somebody who teaches, and that is Dronacharya. So Dronacharya, many people think he fought in the Kurukshetra war because of his allegiance to Hastinapur. No, Dronacharya had no connection with the Hastinapur or the Bharat lineage whatsoever that I know of. And Dronacharya could have easily chosen to stand with the Pandavas. And he loved Arjun too. Arjun was his favorite student. But it was attachment that destroyed him. Attachment to his son. I think we all know the cause of his death.
Which is?
He thought his son was killed. And he was so attached that he sat down in dhyana, and he just sat down and Drishtadyumna cut off his head. Like, that's so funny to me that you've been fighting this war, you've killed thousands of people in so many days, and you're just telling me that Drishtadyumna killed you because you gave up. Confusing. Because actually Dronacharya was one of the most harmful things to the Pandava side. Like Bhishma, he was killing thousands of people per day. So, yeah.
Okay, one is detachment. What is the second lesson?
It would be to make sure that you rise above all materialistic things. Like money, gadgets, land. Yeah, I don't think I need to elaborate much on this. But to be in a state ki I'm not greedy for that.
Okay. So, detachment, move above the materialistic things. Next.
I think this is going to be my final lesson, but it is that I can't choose, there are so many, but it is to be a good human being. Most important. If you're not a good human being, then what is the point of being detached and having risen above all materialistic things? If you're not compassionate, what is the point? If you're not selfless, what's the point? If you're not humble, what's the point? If you're not modest, what's the point? So, yeah.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
Yes. because a lot of it has happened in the Mahabharata itself, that the hunter who killed Krishna, he is said to be Vali, the monkey king. Because Rama killed him from behind a tree, Vali was born as the killer of Krishna as in his next life. So yeah.
Are there any instances of reincarnation that has been spoken about in Mahabharata?
Yes. The Pandavas are actually 5 Indras from 5 different ages. Okay. And I'm not sure, but as to the story I've read, I think the present day Indra was born as Arjun, but I'm not sure. Other than that, what do you say? Brihaspati was born as Dronacharya. So yeah.
There are stories of incarnation there, reincarnation there. So, a lot of people get scared of the word karma, right? But karma means action. Karma is action, right? So, what you sow is what you reap. What has Krishna spoken about karma?
Karma, like we talked about earlier, it should be done without want of the fruits. And karma is one more thing he said is कि there is not a single moment where you're sitting idle. Even if you say I'm resting is still a verb. There is not a single person in this world who is sitting idle. See, sitting is also a verb. So every moment of your life, you're doing something. Whether it's blinking, floating, crying, whatever. It is, everything in life is a verb. So there is no point trying to escape from action when it's next to impossible.
What's the difference between karma and dharma?
Karma is like action, and also it is tit for tat. While dharma is righteousness, it's justice. So they sound very similar. Like my friend once asked me that you should be a karmic person. I asked her, what do you mean by that? You should follow righteousness. No, that's called a dharmic person, not a karmic person. So yes.
Do you think we all have a purpose in life?
Yes. Although many people are still figuring their purpose, yes, multiple people do have a purpose. Every person on earth has been born for a reason. Because we think of Dhritarashtra as useless because he barely did anything. Dhritarashtra was actually the reason why this entire war happened.
How?
Dhritarashtra never actually tried to stop his son. If he had stopped his son at an early age, maybe his sons would be alive. Maybe Abhimanyu would be alive. Maybe the Dronacharya, Bhishma would all be alive. But no, of course not.
Have you heard of this word manifestation?
Yes.
And what do you think about that word manifestation?
Actually, I have a question to you about that.
Okay. What is that?
So, what is the difference between karma and manifestation? Because recently somebody asked me about manifestation and I got confused because to me they both feel the same.
Okay.
कि what you do, उसका जो rebound है, that is called as karma. And when you do something, the actions you do for it is what I understood manifestation as.
Okay, that's a very interesting question. So now I'm just going to show you an illustration. If I'm just going to drop this pen, the pen is falling down. Why?
Because of gravity.
Correct. So now it does not matter if Gayathri believes in gravity or Paridhi believes in gravity, gravity exists. Just like how gravity is a natural law of the universe, manifestation, the process of manifestation, which people think is very magical, it is not. So manifestation is also a process of bringing into reality whatever we think in mind. So for example, let's say I want to buy a car, or I want to start a business. I want to do something which starts in the mind. To bring it into reality, it is not just physical action that brings it into reality. So basically what happens is you and I are able to see in light. So why? When there is no light, you cannot see me, I cannot see you. Correct? When we switch off the light, we cannot see each other. But when I switch on the light, we can see each other. Why? Our eyes, of the entire spectrum of light, it can only see so much. Like when we are speaking, there are other rays here. There is Bluetooth. There are other rays which you and I cannot see it. Similarly, what manifestation says is Paridhi is vibrating at a specific frequency. She's not solid. She's vibrating at a specific frequency which this eyes cannot understand. Gayatri is vibrating at a specific frequency. Now, Paridhi's frequency and Gayatri's frequency are very different. How? Based on what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, what your emotions are, what your actions are, what your words are, and what Paridhi believes about her. Belief is very important. Depending on what frequency you're vibrating at, in the universe, there are similar frequencies. So let's say you're vibrating at 10. Whatever is in the universe that is vibrating at 10 will naturally come into your life. So for example, let's say I'm vibrating at the frequency of abundance. Making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, starting my own business, serving a lot of people. That is a thought, belief, action, everything I have. So the universe will send me opportunities which matches that frequency. Let's say now I'm vibrating at jealousy. I'm thinking negative thoughts. I'm thinking I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Things are not working out for me. When that becomes my vibration, in the universe will send me people, circumstances, situations, things, everything to match that frequency. So the people that you mostly meet in your life are somewhere closer to your frequency. So when you go above, when your frequency, your thoughts, you surrender, you start becoming more closer to the divine and you keep going up, if people don't match your frequency, naturally they'll leave your life. Have you noticed something like that? Some of your friends not being your friends anymore?
Yes.
Yeah. That is because it does not mean we are better than them, they are not better than us. That is not, because the minute you think you are better than them, who's coming in between? Our ego. Our ego saying, hey, see, I am better than you. No, we all came from the same source. We're all going to go back to the same source. So we're not thinking it from the egoic perspective. We're looking at it from the perspective of, okay, I am thinking better thoughts. My life is getting better. For some reason, that person is staying stuck there. You can either help the person. If the person does not listen, we leave the person and we progress in life. So manifestation and karma are closely related to each other, but manifestation happens because of a lot of invisible forces also. So now what do you want to manifest in your future?
Happiness.
Oh, that's sweet. What is happiness according to you right now? Because I am sure it is going to keep changing as you grow.
Happiness to me is learning.
Okay.
Like, before I met Ami Ganatra, I knew a lot of fake stories. I thought they were real, and the moment she was like, and those fake stories were like fog. She was like, okay, no. And so then I learned about manifestation. Then with one of my another hosts, Kritika Didi, I learned more about English and public speaking.
Nice.
So I like to learn. And basically, I don't like being asked, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Why?
Because that's in the future, present my present. What I want to do, I will later onwards find out, not now. Now I'm finding out what I am capable of doing.
What are the things, especially when you're learning something new? Let's say you're learning about manifestation, learning about speaking, learning about our Puranas. What feeling does it give you on the inside?
My brain just processes it and then goes, acha, okay. Then it immediately discards all the false things out, saying we don't want you to linger here anymore. Sorry. And the feeling that, ओके मैंने मिर्च मसाला हटा दिया है. नाउ दिस इज कम्प्लीटली ओरिजिनल फैक्चुअल वन. सो या.
So now that you've started speaking about what you've been reading all these years, a lot of people are coming to you, appreciating you, and speaking about, like, you're such a wise child at the age of 9. How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel happy. And my father told me, because actually I don't have any idea whatsoever मेरे social media पे क्या चल रहा है.
Okay.
I just go, I blah blah blah, and then I come back. That's
Okay.
it. But my father told me that because of you, multiple people are starting to learn more about our Indian history. And the feeling that I promote not just keyword, just learning about Alexander the Great, but also about Kumaraswamy Mudaliar, it makes me feel happy. That कि हम भारतीय संस्कृति कोई भूल नहीं रहा है. Everybody remembers, everybody is aware. That makes me feel happy. कि people know our country isn't weak. Our country was once the world's knowledge center with the help of Nalanda and Takshashila. So yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about Nalanda University?
I don't know much. What I know is how brutally and cruelly it was destroyed. For one thing, I have a personal connection with books, and I absolutely love books. So, one of the worst things that happened to India was burning down of Nalanda University. The massive library, which had 9 million plus manuscripts, was set on fire. And the fire kept on burning for months. जो एकदम और पेनफुल बना देता है that centuries worth of knowledge destroyed in a single moment, destroyed in a single decision.
Whose decision was that?
Bhakhtiyar Khilji, a Turkish invader. He came to India in the 12th century, and in 1193 CE, Nalanda was burned.
Why did he do that?
Nobody knows. I mean, not nobody. I don't know.
Okay.
So, but the fact that so many people lost touch was just heartbreaking for me. So, yeah.
And also, when you speak so much, so proudly about there have been so many Indian legends, some of them have been forgotten. Who are your favorite Indian legends that are not very famous, but they've done some crazy good work for the country?
One is the Mudaliar twins. So, those Mudaliar twins are the reason why we have Lakshadweep with us today. Because actually, after noticing Lakshadweep, the Pakistani ship was going there. If it hadn't been for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and for those twins, then Lakshadweep would have been Pakistani territory right now. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel got to know what's happening. He immediately alerted them, and they sent, I think it was Malayali ships, and they claimed Lakshadweep before Pakistan could reach there. Then there is क्या बोलते हैं, forgot the word, Jijabai. She is the reason why Shivaji Maharaj grew up to be proud of and be humble at the same time about his Indian culture. And Jijabai not only raised Shivaji, she also raised Sambhaji I and Sambhaji II. Sambhaji I as in Shivaji's brother, and Sambhaji II as in his son. And one of the most heartbreaking things is that nobody ever pays Jijabai any attention. Jijabai की वजह से Sambhaji Maharaj grew up to learn more, to be proud of his Indian culture. When Sambhaji Maharaj was barely 23, Shivaji Maharaj died. It is because of learning from Jijabai that he remains strong.
Why do you think there are so many Hindu gods, but in other religions there are not so many gods? Why are they
I
so?
don't know.
Okay.
Because actually, it's not just Hinduism that has multiple gods. There's one more religion that shares the same factor, and that is Egyptian. का जो है. They have multiple gods. Sometimes it gets confusing for me to read it, and so Indian culture may not be one in the entire world, but it's unique in its own way.
And you like studying history a lot?
Yes, in fact.
And how do you remember all these time, era, dates, names, and all of that?
Actually, it's because once I read something, once I start reading something, I'll be very engrossed in it. As long as I'm doing it willingly. If I'm forced to do it, then no, you're not going to expect me to remember anything. Because if I'm doing it willingly, then I'll immediately start learning. Acha, ye. Oh, that's the thing. Acha, that's the date. If somebody's forcing me that you can only read about Hitler, not about Bhagavad Gita, I'll have no interest. And in fact, even if you give me one of my favorite topics and you force me to wait on that only, no, that's not, no.
And do you think some parents are making this mistake of forcing children into doing something?
No idea.
Okay. But what do you think parents should be doing so that the children can become the best in whatever they like?
They should teach their child a few values. One, punctuality, which unfortunately is one of the values I lack in school because I'm one of those late Latif students in school. Then number 2, be a good and compassionate and kind and not at all an overly saintly human being.
Why?
Overly saintly means like ki if you're actually being unfairly treated, don't hesitate to stand up. Then third is to have a good health, which as you can see is another thing I lack.
Why would you say that?
I'm actually sick. I have a cold, so.
Okay.
Then it is to learn more about their history instead of paying attention about other history only. It's not a bad thing to learn about what was Egyptian history or Greek history or whatever history. But it's not good to just give your history the cold shoulder. So yeah.
What makes you sad generally in life?
Anything emotional.
Like?
If somebody plays an emotional song, I just leave the room or else I'll start to cry really.
Yeah? You're very sensitive?
Yes.
Okay. And how do you come out of that emotion?
By thinking funny things.
That's so sweet. Paridhi, it's honestly, from the time that we decided to get in touch with you because we've seen some amazing work that you've done, my entire team has been in awe with you, the kind of understanding that you have about things at such a beautiful young age. Yes, I love the fact that you don't like the question of what do I want to do in the future and people asking you that question. But do you have a direction in which you would love to flourish in the future?
It would be just to be a good human being. I've said this like a gazillion times in this one podcast, but I don't want myself ever to be a bad human being. Just
What is bad according to you?
unkind, not compassionate, cruel, greedy, one who envies and becomes jealous quite quickly. Yeah.
Now, if at all you find that quality coming inside of you, let's say you're looking at somebody, and even without your knowledge, the jealousy quality is coming. How do you handle that?
I just quickly remind myself that it's not necessary for me to, like, it's a good thing they have it, and just because they have it doesn't mean I should have it. Like, maybe because everybody's unique in their own way. Everybody has some things, some people don't have some things, and that's completely fine. I do not need a doll camper van to be a good person. Neither does my friend need the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita to be a good person. So yeah.
That's very, very lovely. Thank you so much for coming all the way from Mumbai. And we heard that you were not keeping well. You still have a little bit of cold. And you've managed to come here, spend this time with us. And I had a great time having this conversation. You're very, very inspiring. Not
Thank
just for
you.
me, and I'm sure for everybody who's watching, who's very, very inspiring. Keep doing the fabulous work and keep inspiring more people.
Thank you.